Hello you lovely people, it's Suppoman, your superhero of cryptocurrency. Today's going to be a really important video and I hope that you watch it because I think you need to know, some of the reasons why things haven't worked out for the altcoins in the last year. Why did my top 5, predictions of OneChain, QuantStamp, Ethos, BitDegree, Utrust, why are these projects seen as having failed or being dead? Why have they lost so much volume? Why is nobody talking about them? And how do they bring it back? How do the altcoin projects you're invested in or have held in, how do they bring it back? And what has gone wrong? If you're excited to learn this, and I think that you really need to hear this, it's so super important for you to learn these things as we go along. So smash up the old likes, sit down, grab a cup of tea or whatever, and just listen, okay? So, I made a prediction last, I think it was New Year's Eve or something, where I was talking about the top 5 altcoins for 2018. And this was before the tsunami effect of the 2018 bear market basically destroyed and disintegrated everything in its path. Okay, so, so I have learned so much from that happening. And I've learned so much from projects that have got it right, okay, have got it right. And what, the likes of Ethos really need to do to get it back. Before I go into that, what's happening with the price? So, Bitcoin has gone down slightly since Saturday. The hash rate came down the day after it went up to 50 quintillion, whatever. And having gone down, the price then went down of Bitcoin. So the price does follow the hash rate. It's not the other way around. No matter what anybody says, I can get any graph to prove my point if I just move the price movement slightly to the right or to the left. So it really, I wouldn't pay too much attention to anybody with theories on the counter side. Anyway. So that's what's happening. The price is following the hash rate. If you watch it, you'll see it. Anyway, going back, so what project has done the absolute best out of any cryptocurrency project currently in the top 100? I would say Tron, okay? Tron, out of thousands of cryptocurrencies, have got it absolutely bang on. Tron is not technological genius. It's not consensus genius. It's nowhere near the DAG infrastructure capabilities like Hashgraph. Hashgraph is going to be like real, true, fast consensus, fast trust software, payment transactions. It's going to be the absolute bomb when it comes to speed, scalability, and security, okay? Tron is nowhere near that. Tron is not even for blockchain 4.0. However, Tron has got so much right in the fact that it is more a marketing machine, okay? So think about it. If you look at anything, if you look at the Labour Party, the Democrat Party, the Republican Party, Google, Apple, basically all of these projects or all of these parties or cults even have got a figurehead, okay? They have got somebody at the forefront that is constantly in the news, constantly being talked about, constantly saying controversial things, constantly with a personality. Okay, now something I've learned on YouTube is personality wins a lot. You've got to be slightly narcissistic, you've got to have a personality that people gravitate towards, you've got to be slightly arrogant and all these kinds of things. And the people who are successful leaders have all of these qualities. Look at Steve Jobs, okay? He was arrogant, believed he was brilliant, he was a marketing machine, and he was really the person that built Apple. He was the person that made Apple what it is. Steve Wozniak, you could argue, was the person that was the technological genius behind Apple, but Steve Jobs was the face of it because he was the one that used all the superlatives. Saying things were the greatest, the best, sensational. All these superlative words. Same as Donald Trump. He does the exact same thing. He uses these superlative words. He talks so powerfully and so persuasively about his product. And that's what Tron have. They've got Justin Sun doing that. Now, Ethos, they are one of those companies that works really hard in the background, producing a product they outlined in their white paper. They work hard to deliver on that, to deliver a value proposition that they set out to. But what they don't have is they don't have a face. Neither do any of the other projects. Utrust, QuantStamp, OneChain, they don't have a face. They don't have the person that is constantly saying these superlative things, the person with an outrageous or outlandish personality. And you may think, well, that makes them lack credibility. I mean, look at Tron. Okay, the amount that Justin Sun has been spoken about, Justin Sun's the founder of Tron, by the way, if you didn't know. Justin Sun has been spoken about so much the last few days, as he put out a tweet saying how he's got more followers than Vitalik Buterin in like 6 months than he achieved in 6 years or whatever. And the amount of YouTubers have been talking about it, the amount of blogs have been saying, how arrogant and how vile Justin Sun is as a person for saying such a thing, so disrespectful. But at the same time, he's getting talked about. It's getting Tron more in the news. It's getting people observing Tron, and it's getting more money into Tron. There's a lot more confidence going into Tron because they've got such an arrogant founder. They've got a founder that is so complimentary about his own product that the people really gravitate to that confidence. People really gravitate towards that. And without that face, that is what a lot of these cryptocurrencies lack. They don't have a face. They don't have a person that is basically is bouncing off the wall saying how great it is, like a bull in a china shop, like I am, right? So I was really the face of Ethos. I was the face of Utrust. But I'm not the face because I'm a YouTuber and I just like what I like. And a project can't rely on me, and I don't think they do rely on me, to give them constant visibility. They have to do that themselves. I learned being a YouTuber, you've got to be obsessed with success. You've got to be obsessed with it. You've got to work all the hours, do everything you can to make the numbers go up. You've got to give all of your efforts, all of your passion, everything, every waking moment has got to be obsessed with making a success of what you do. I did that with Udemy. I did that with YouTube. I just work tirelessly until I achieve my goals. And so does Justin Sun. Yeah, he is that face, and that's really needed. What else? So, market making. All right. So, do you really think that the $115 million of daily volume going into Tron is real? It's not. They have a ton of tokens. They have billions of tokens, which is used for market making, basically to artificially stimulate demand so that people think that money's going into it, and so they are feeling more confident in putting their money into it. All right, so it's not 100%. It's not 100% genuine volume, and a lot of the cryptocurrency projects like Ethos, like BitDegree, like QuantStamp, they have lower. Ethos is over 1 million daily volume. OneChain's still over 1 million daily volume. It's genuine volume, but it's still massively lower than Tron's volume. And the reason why is because Tron are using market makers, no one else is. So they're giving an even bigger perception of success. This is what I mean by the difference between perception and reality. There's such a massive differential between the two, where someone is actually successful and being seen to be successful. And Tron is really being seen to be successful, and as a result, they become successful, right? So what's happened is they have a face. They've got market makers. They've also got all the activity happening. They are ranking high on all of the vital stats when it comes to a cryptocurrency. Okay, so they are a highly utilized blockchain. They're like number 5 or 6. Most transactions daily. They've got over 1 million transactions daily on the Tron blockchain. They have 3 or 4 of the top 5 dApps in the whole cryptocurrency space. They outperform Ethereum's dApps. They outperform EOS's dApps. They have the best used dApps. They work hard on creating dApps, right? So they're doing all the hard work. They're not necessarily technologically excellent, but they are doing all the hard work. They're obsessed with making sure that they have got a huge amount of dApps that are being used. And they make sure they are used. And they use people to bring more users in. Then you have got the actual GitHub activity. Okay, now GitHub is a really good indication of how genuine, hardworking, and active a project are. How much are they contributing to their own GitHub? How many commits? How how many people are contributing, how many forks are being done on the blockchain, how much activity is actually happening on the blockchain. And they rank high for that. They're number 7 out of 2,000 cryptocurrencies. They're ranked 7 in terms of active on the blockchain, commits and things like that. Okay, so they are basically, in short, giving a huge perception of success. Okay, they're so obsessed with, well, Justin Sun and Tron are so obsessed with success that they make it their absolute mission to be the best. Okay, they may not be technologically the best, but who cares whether they're technologically the best? They're being seen to be successful. They're being successful. They're doing really well. They're working hard. They're on top of the vital stats that count for cryptocurrencies, and so that's why they stay in the top 10. They're doing all the hard work necessary to stay there. Whereas Ethos, OneChain and all that, they don't have a face. They don't use market makers, or at least they don't use them to the extent that Tron do, because they've got billions of tokens by which they can give to market makers and artificially stimulate demand. They're not doing enough work on the DApp platforms. They're not shouting enough about that. They are not performing well in terms of being in the top 10, top 50, best performing blockchains in terms of amount of transactions. They're also not having as many commits. They're not having as many contributors. They're not having as many forks, revisions to the code, and all of that. So they are missing out on all of these vital stats that are required. But really, they do need to have a face. That is really, really important. They need to have a face in order to be successful. They need to blow their own trumpet. And, that is why a lot of these cryptocurrencies are known, because I blew their trumpet. They need to do that. I am dedicated to making my own channel grow. I like bringing people the research. I like doing the work, saying people, these are the top cryptocurrencies are going to do well. These are cryptocurrencies versus another. I bring people what they want to see. I can't consistently bring people videos on Ethos or OneChain or Utrust. They need to create that marketing machine themselves. And they don't just need to be obsessed with marketing. Tron has proved that. They need to be obsessed with making sure their product is actually used, not just talk about it, not just have a product no one uses. You need to be constantly beating the drum. You need to be constantly trying to get yourself in Cointelegraph or CoinDesk or Abacus Journal or the Block. One of these big news outlets. You need to be getting in them. Tron gets in them all the time because of Justin Sun. He gets in there all the time because he beats the drum of Tron, and because in the background he's making it all work. He's getting lots of people. He's building the army. He's building the cult, and that's really what a lot of these cryptocurrencies do not do. They do not focus on users. They do not focus on technology. They do not focus on blockchain stats. They do not focus on dApps. They do not focus on constant marketing, constantly getting in people's faces and saying why they are brilliant. That's what's not happening with a lot of projects. And and this is something you need to know, because in the bull market, everything will go up. Everything goes up in a bull market, because money's flowing, okay? And if money hasn't flowed to a cryptocurrency, then it will eventually. And that's the thing with a bear market. The cryptos always go up, no matter how crap they are, how inactive they are, they go up. And really, the quality is seen when you haven't got that, when you haven't got the luck or success of a bull market in cryptocurrency. The success can be seen in a bear market when you haven't got the money flowing, you haven't got loads of people just bullish. That's the worst. That's the most testing time for any cryptocurrency, is during a bear market. If you do well during a bear market, if you are trying to create success, trying to deliver value to investors, then you are going to have the money coming in. If you're not seen to be bringing money in, if you're not seen to be successful, if you don't have all of those qualities I've just spoken about with Tron, then you are going to fail in some form or another. The way to be really truly successful is being absolutely cold-bloodedly obsessed with success, you've got to be working all hours every single day, working hard on every single aspect of your cryptocurrencies project. You have to be marketing all the time, getting adoption all the time, encouraging developers to build, mass adoption apps, addictive apps, sticky apps. You need to be getting all of these things happening. You need to have market makers. It's a necessary evil. It's not illegal to have market makers artificially stimulating demand. You need to have them because it gives the health. Volume is health, okay? If you've got good volume, it means there's money coming in. And if you haven't got that, it means money's not coming in, which means that my investment could die. So market making is a way of artificially showing there is demand, even if there isn't, So you need to be getting every aspect right. You need to be just ticking all of the boxes. You can't just tick one. You can't just make a great product like Ethos or QuantStamp or Utrust. You can't just make a great product. You need to get it out there. You need to have a face. You need to make sure you're getting volume. You need to make sure there's transactions. And with all of these things will come success in time. So that is really, something that a bear market, because there's been a tsunami, the bear market of 2018 was a tsunami. It essentially flushed everything away. And the real way to stand out, because there's no money going in, the real way to stand out is to make sure you're being seen to be successful, and then people will give the money to you. And if people give the money to you, then you're going to be successful during the bear market, and even more successful during a bull market. So I'm confident in the cryptocurrencies that I have invested in, and if I lose that confidence, then I obviously leave. But I'm confident that a lot of them, like Ethos for instance, they are producing a great wallet, a great universal wallet, and it's going to have an inbuilt fiat gateway, which is going to make it absolutely magnificent. It's going to be a superstar project. But the thing is that if they want to be more successful, if projects want to be more successful, they need to be working all the time. They can't just have a great start. A lot of ICOs had a great start, and then they just eventually died, and the money started leaving, and people started leaving, and the community started disappearing. You need to be constantly building, constantly building the product, making the product better, getting people using it, making it even more usable, more addictive, more sticky as possible. You need to be giving the impression of constant success. You need to have a face constantly beating the drum. It's not good to just do it for a short period. Most ICOs I found in 2018, they worked really hard in the beginning months, during the token sale, maybe just after listing, and they buggered off. You didn't hear from them, right? That's what's wrong with the space. It's not scams, it's that they don't satisfy all the criteria. They're not ticking all the boxes, okay? So I hope this has really educated you. I hope it's certainly educated me learning all this, and it is the truth. And, Tron, as much as I don't like them technologically, I think that they are great marketing-wise. They're a great case study. They show what can be achieved if you put the hard work in, if you are absolutely obsessed. And as an investor, for you've got to be making sure you ask these questions. How obsessed are they with success? Are they really wanting to create a game-changing product? Are they really wanting to change the world? Are they really wanting to be like Apple or Google? Do they want to be the big I am? Or are they just being a project money grabbing because cryptocurrency is such a great opportunity and there's lots of money and it's an emerging industry? You've got to ask these questions, and you've got to look and judge for yourself. You've got to do the research. Are they showing sustained obsession towards achieving an incredible company, an incredible valuation? Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to its investors that took a big punt on them. That's what you've got to do. And the thing is, I'm in contact with all of these projects: Utrust, BitDegree, Ethos, QuantStamp. I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing in the background, and I know they're working hard. But the thing is, they are just, it takes an extra element to be special. It takes an extra element to be number one, And I know this, being one of the top YouTubers. You've got to make videos every day. You've got to be producing things people want to see. You've got to be obsessed with success. You've got to be obsessed. You've got to look at your competition and think, what am I not doing? How can I be better? Okay, how can I be number one? Okay, and if you don't, then the newer people will come and usurp you. I'm under threat from the up and coming YouTubers out there looking to make a name for themselves, looking to get over 100,000, if not more, subscribers. You know, they are doing everything they can to be the best, okay? So I know I have to work hard myself. So this happens in all walks of life, but particularly in cryptocurrency. And the better you are, the better you're seen to be, the better your investment will perform. I've been Suppoman, hope you enjoyed. Smash up the old likes, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, it is lights out, or